I'm in a hurry. I've got a very important phone call to make.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the 20-Minute Freedom Project. I'm your host, Josh Lopez. Over the last couple episodes, we've been going through what really takes to build freedom. Last episode, we talked about choosing the hard path, because the truth is, easy doesn't change you. But today, we're talking about something that stops more people than any other obstacle that is in their path. Something that doesn't just slow you down, it can stop you dead in your tracks. It's fear. The invisible wall between you and where you want to be. But here's what I've learned. Fear isn't the enemy. Fear is the gatekeeper. It's the obstacle that stands at the edge of everything you've ever wanted. So today, I wanted to help you understand how to stop running from fear and start walking through it, even welcoming it. It shows up and you're just like, bring it on. Because the life you want, it's waiting on the other side of that obstacle. So let me take you back and dive into something that I don't really talk about too often, even though I've had some people tell me to just shut up and stop talking about it. But I was offered an opportunity that could have changed everything at that moment. The email was drafted, everything was ready to go, and I sat there for hours, paralyzed. What if I mess it up? What if I'm not ready? What if they actually said no, even though they had offered it to me? The thoughts kept spinning until the opportunity had passed me by. I remember the clock ticking, my heart racing, that knot in your stomach just kept tightening with every minute. By the end of the day, I convinced myself that it wasn't right, that I needed more prep, that it wasn't the right opportunity, but deep down, I knew that it was just an excuse. And when it passed, I realized something painful. It wasn't failure that stopped me. It was the fear of the unknown. See, fear doesn't always come in like a mama bear protecting her cubs. Sometimes it just whispers just loud enough to keep you from taking that action. And it does its best to disguise itself as logic and playing it safe. But underneath it all, it's fear saying, don't grow, don't risk, just stay small, stay comfortable. And looking back, it haunted me for weeks, and I really regret. And I keep playing those scenarios in my head, it just trying to make it all better. And I realized that I'd given away my power to the fear. But that became a turning point. The moment I notice fear now, it makes me think back to that day. From every time it shows up. From going through all of those things, I have changed the way I look at it. And instead of letting it stop me, I've brought it into more of a why not? But the truth is, to everybody, the fear is not the stop sign. It's the signal. When fear shows up, there's something that matters. If you're not scared, it's probably not stretching you. And if it's not stretching you, you're really not growing. Think about it. When was the last time you truly felt alive? Probably when you were a little bit scared, right? Like starting a new job, asking somebody out, or launching that side hustle, or that new business that you've been pondering about, thinking about, just sitting on, waiting for that right time. The trick isn't to eliminate the fear, it's to translate it. Fear says, I might fail. You should translate that into, this is new, I'm growing, something I've never done before. Fear says, I'm not ready. Translate that into something like, maybe this is my chance to rise. Fear will say, what if I get rejected? Might as well give it a shot. What's the worst thing that could happen? Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the moment despite of it. Take someone like J.K. Rowling. Rejected it again and again when she was writing her book. But the fear signaled to her that the story actually mattered. And in your life, maybe it's fear of public speaking. Maybe the hesitation to send that email. It just means that it matters. The goal isn't to be fearless. It's to be brave enough to move with the fear, riding in the passenger seat. Because when you do, something wild happens. Fear stops being the wall that stops you, and it becomes the door to walk through. It opens you up to new skills and new people. And the life that you've been chasing and been looking for. Without the fear, you stay in your comfort zone. And if you don't move past it. All right. This is where you make it real. There are 3 steps that I'm going to give you to getting unstuck when fear takes over. Step 1 is name it. You can't fight what you don't face. Write it down exactly what you're afraid of. The second you name it, it loses half of its power. Now, for example, if you're scared to, I don't know, start a podcast, I'm afraid of no one is going to listen to it. Maybe I'll look foolish. Be specific. If you're not specific, it's not going to kill it. Step 2, shrink it. Ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario? And I mean the worst case scenario. Most of the time, it's not nearly as bad as your brain will make it out to be. Mark Twain said it best. I have lived a long life and had many troubles. Most of them have never happened. Think on that for a second. Write the outcome. What's the best case if you do it anyway? This reframes the fear and balances the risk out. Step 3, small moves. Don't wait for courage to show up though, because one tiny step, one message, one call, doesn't matter what it is. Take that action. And when you stack those steps one on each other, you're building that wall one brick at a time. Start small, start messy, just start. Build it like a muscle. How are you going to do that? You go and do it, and you do 1 rep and another rep and another rep, and you keep going up that staircase to build into new and exciting things. All right. So the freedom challenge of the week. Write down one thing that you've been avoiding because of fear. Something you've been circling around, thinking about, planning out, procrastinating on. Then take the smallest action possible towards it. Send a text message, write the first line. Maybe if you're writing a book, make the call if you're afraid of calling somebody, or hit record. And once you do, ask yourself, what did that small step teach me? How did it feel on the other side? Because you don't conquer fear by thinking your way through it. You conquer it by moving forward anyway. The more you walk toward it, the less power it has over you. The easier and easier it gets, and the less it stops you. So remember this. Fear isn't the wall of keeping you from the life you want. Fear is the gate guarding it. Walk it, open it, walk through it, and achieve the life you've ever wanted. And that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for tuning in to the 20-Minute Freedom Project. And remember that your freedom isn't found. You have to go build it. And if this episode had helped home or hit home, share it with someone that is struggling with some fear. And I would love to hear your freedom breakthrough and your breakthrough of fear. and just post it on Instagram, hashtag 20-minute freedom project. And I'd love to connect with you. Till next time, take care, guys.